So this is the screencast all about multi-channel retailing. So this is not a very exciting definition, but it's a reasonable definition. It's about selling merchandise or services through more than one channel. What I mean by channel is the way that the consumer or the customer accesses what it is, that merchandise. Okay, how do they get hold of it, and how do they purchase it? So great example is you go to Tesco's and you can buy Starbucks coffee. So Starbucks are selling coffee through Tesco's, but also they're selling it in their shops. So one is already made, and the other is not. You also go to kind of a WX Smith's on the motorway. You can buy Starbucks in a machine, located in somebody else's thing. So the channels that consumers can access your product are increasing. If you look at this example, this is from somebody that is selling in product into a number of places, including John Lewis. So this is a technology product, and you can see there that this is not a simple supply network. So the networks that you saw at the beginning in the module, they've got that kind of like a egg timer funnel type shape. This has not got that shape. It is all over the place in terms of how it is organised, with more crossovers in terms of information and of logistics. Businesses are struggling to deal with this issue because it is a complex, difficult issue to deal with. John Lewis talk about owning the network, as the phrase they use. And think about the channel. It's not just about the logistics of receiving it from people. It's about ordering the product, so placing that mechanism of the order. It's about browsing, so you can browse the thing on your phone in a shop, etc. You can receive the goods at a number of different points. So those massive different issues affect how you supply. For example, if you go to John Lewis previously and you want to buy a couple of towels, you take a couple of towels off the shelf, you buy them and you take them home. So John Lewis's job is simple. When the stock gets to a couple of towels left, they go to their warehouse and get some more towels out. When the warehouse runs out, they go to their DC, get some more towels out of there. When they run out, they contact the supplier, supply some more towels. Dead simple. Cascading supply chain of inventory and information. In this scenario, the customer could browse that online, so you've got to be able to show that. You've got to be able to see whether they can pick from stock. Is it actually at the DC? So I can order it to go to my house. Is it actually at a shop? So you've got to be able to display that information accurately, more accurately than you would if you were doing it yourself. You've got to then receive the order. Where do you receive the order? Is it in the shop or is it in the warehouse? How do you collect those things, etc.? Highly complex. So these are different activities involved in that kind of channel. So where consumers are searching, choosing, actually placing an order, getting it, and then you've got other things that you don't necessarily think about in terms of what happens afterwards. The communications of when your order is going to arrive, the communications if it's going to come back in stock, how you deal with future advertising. Should you advertise to those people that have bought from you? How should you do that, etc.? How should you manage the data that you've acquired from that customer? Lots of stuff to think about. Why would you want to do this? Well, access to new markets is obvious. So you're not just getting people that live near your shop. You can sell to anybody. Some customers are expecting this kind of level of service. If you don't do it, somebody else will do it. It can tie you in if the customer gets used to using this kind of multi-channel effect of choosing, purchasing, delivery options. They might choose to stay with you, then go somewhere else. And you've got access to lots of information about the customer. So, because if you went to a shop and buy a pair of towels, you're not necessarily giving your details away about where you live and why you bought the towels and how many you bought before. Whereas if you do that in a different channel, your chances are you're going to collect that data. So you've got much more powerful information to help you manage this kind of complex environment in the future. What are the issues? We've talked about quite a lot of issues already in terms of like the feel of how the complexity. But you've got to be able to be have the technology capability. So that means like the infrastructure, the investment in the infrastructure, but also the management of the infrastructure. So you've got a really good IT department and people that can get on top of those issues if anything arises. Telecoms access. The fact that people can see the prices, they can compare your price to somebody else straight away, and that if I go to shop and buy a pair of towels or look at a pair of towels, if I have to walk the other end of Leeds to go and look at some alternative pink towels, then that's quite a high switch, what we call switching cost. So you probably just go, I'll sod it, I'm here, the towels are right, I'm going to buy the towels. Whereas you're online, and if it's just a quick question of moving from one window to another or one app to another, then your switching costs are really low for the consumer. So the competitiveness of the situation increases dramatically. In terms of the difficulty from an operational point of view, talked before about this towel example, is that if you're moving products around, as you go further back down the supply chain, you go upstream, the sizes of the batches increase. So the amount of size of a batch of pink towels in the warehouse is more than the batch size in the stores. Okay, but in this situation, the lot size is 1 because people are usually buying one product. So that's got massive implications about where you send the products from to the customer in terms of the supply network. Where should you keep your stock? You could have some in the store because people like to go and touch, feel the product, etc. Packaging, so the package has got to be much more robust, and it's got to survive in a cold, nasty warehouse, etc. The lead time, so the lead time from the supplier to the end consumer is much quicker, or has to be, because the supply network through the towels, you've probably got like a bit more time, whereas the customer probably wants it straight away. Granulation, if you add up all the people that buy towels from John Lewis across the UK, you're probably looking at a rough similar number per week, per month, per year, depending on seasonal variation, etc. And it's probably the same, you probably know that 50% of them are white, 20% are blue, etc. When you get down to a lower level, when your individual customers are ordering from different aspects of the network, then your chances of getting it right are less, because at that level you could end up with a set of customers that are much more focused on pink towels, for example. So that's a problem at a smaller level. What do you do with the returns? People that don't want it, whether they send it, how do you deal with it? And the sheer physicality of logistics about getting, you're not just moving a batch of pink towels from a DC to a store. You've got to send it to somebody's house. This might be a difficult house to find. And how do you say when it's going to appear and all that kind of stuff. Now that wasn't complicated enough. You've now got a situation where people start talking about omni-channel retailing. Omni-channel, so is the main difference is that in multi-channel it's kind of like it's growing, the options are added all the time about how people do it. Omni-channel is supposed to be designed to be coherent, okay, and that is quite a big task, especially as this is happening, as we speak. It's happening all the time in businesses. They're experimenting, so to get an omni-channel experience at this speed of societal change is quite complicated. So M&S are one of the people that are looking into this, and they're looking about like the seamlessness between the app, the website, videos about people wearing the clothes. You walk into the store and you can try on virtual clothes. You can browse in the store in the same way you can browse on your phone, but you're in the store so you can go and find it. You talk to people on the phone and we know what you're talking about in terms of their access to the data is the same, but it's highly complex to get right. And this is the the benefit of doing it. So it's kind of about that customer retention, customer satisfaction, and perhaps even more powerfully about the brand. Is about how that fits into the brandness of what you're selling.